tourism has always been vulnerable to geopolitical shocks. With the current escalation, disruption, aviation routes, and regional stability, how do you see this affecting global tourism flows in the coming months?
As you rightly said, it's a reminder that how much tourism is depending on peace. I mean, we all have still in our mind the pandemic, but the pandemic was something not man-made. It was something nature, like an earthquake. But this one is a man-made disaster, and we know who to blame. I think everybody in the world knows that.
Just to highlight the Pakistan's perspective, these disruptions are happening in a region that historically functions as a global transit corridor. When airspaces close and oil price rise, tourism industries everywhere feel the impact. So, how should countries like Pakistan interpret this movement?
So, for a country like Pakistan, obviously, we are facing crisis in the coming summer season, because summer is the main tourist season when we get the foreign tourists arriving in Pakistan, and also our own diaspora, when they get summer holidays, they visit Pakistan and their families and friends. So that will be affected this year, because quite a lot of traffic is basically passed through the Middle East region. Almost 65% of our tourist traffic from West and northern the countries from Canada and North America is passed through the Middle East region.
So Pakistan has begun to rethink its tourism strategy, perhaps relying less
we are working on that.
travel.
We are these days working on an alternate plan. If the situation do not improve very soon, so our mainstay and main focus will be more on the domestic tourism market, and then we will shift for foreign tourism interest in the Far Eastern countries and Central Asian countries.
Millions of travelers every year. But it is also a continent that experienced devastating wars in the last century. From that historical perspective, what lessons can destinations learn about rebuilding tourism after geopolitical instability?
And bring understand that so domestic market is important, but also to bring more regional cooperation, and tourism again can maybe be a promoter of such ideas.
Many airlines have seen this as an opportunity, and I was reading that airlines like Turkish Airline and Singapore Airline and many other in the Southeast Asian countries have increased their share in European market, because the Gulf carriers have halted their operations, suspended them temporarily. So, how do you see this as an opportunity for Pakistan's aviation industry?
But still, there is an opportunity for certain airlines which are in the safer zones, like in the Far Eastern countries and the Central Asian region. It's an opportunity for them to, capitalize this situation and to provide aviation connectivity through the safe passages, using good connectivity and enhancing their maybe the number of flights connection which they have for the time being.
Professor, what are your thoughts on how can destinations sustain momentum and keep their tourism industries moving forward?
Solutions, but I fully agree. We have to look, of course, to the time after the actual crisis and the actual bombing and dying of innocent people has hopefully soon stopped.